Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Reese and today is my first ever wrap-up. I'm doing an October wrap-up for 2024 and I just thought I'd go through the books that I read this month, give you a few thoughts on them, give you my recommendations on them, and yeah, we'll see how this month went. So here is the stack of books I read this week. It's only 4 this month, but they were fairly chunky boys. I think it was about 2,000 pages in total. And if I'm honest, I'm completely lying there because the first one I started in September and the last one I actually technically finished on the 1st of November. But it's fine. It's an October wrap-up. We don't mind. So we'll dive into the first one. The first one that I finished in October was the second book in the Powder Mage trilogy, was the Crimson Campaign. It is, as I say, it's a sequel book. It's in the middle of a trilogy. It was a good fun romp. It's pacey. You're dealing with the ramifications of the first one and also setting up on the third one. But you've got this really good ticking clock that's sending you through. It is flintlock fantasy. It is action. All of these books from this trilogy feel like they start in the third act of another book and just barrel through as they're going. This one's one of my favourite out of the entire series. I enjoyed the first one and the second one immensely. The third one was also very good, but this one I think was my favourite. And yeah, very likeable characters that we get to know a lot more in this. And yeah, just a really interesting world. So that was a good fun one. I would definitely recommend the whole series. Speaking of which, the second book was the third book in the Powder Mage trilogy by Brian McClellan. It was The Autumn Republic. Again, finishing off the Powder Mage trilogy for myself. It was, another roller coaster. Just so much going on in this one. Really good fun. The magic systems in this are really interesting. Not what you're expecting. We're sort of dealing with old and new technologies, and it's the clash of those coming together, and we get the culmination of this in a good finish to the series, and overall a great series. I had some problems, not necessarily with the villain themselves. I just didn't feel like the villain was as good as it could be. I feel like they weren't as, I didn't care about them as much as I should do at the end of a series, but still really good, and some great twists, some really great twists. So I highly recommend this, and I'll explain why I highly recommend this in a little bit when we get to the fourth book. Book number 3, a little something different, was my first ever Terry Pratchett, The Colour of Magic. I started at the beginning, much to the chagrin of a lot of people, but I love starting at the beginning, and this was such a great little palate cleanser just to throw in between some other big series. So different from the Powder Mage trilogy, so whimsical, so fun, a bit clunky. It was his first novel, some clunky bits that didn't quite make sense, some jokes that didn't necessarily land, but so many that did. And if this is a bar that he's setting, he's already set it high, and I know from so many different videos and recommendations that some of the books, this is one of the worst books in the series. I can't wait to read some more. So this was a great palate cleanser. I'm definitely going to be picking up more of these. I'll probably throw them in between some other of the bigger series that I'm reading, just to keep me going, because there's like 40 odd. So they're going to keep me going. And the final book that I read was the first book in the second trilogy by Brian McClellan. It was Sins of Empire, and this, read the Powder Mage trilogy just to get to this one. Honestly, you don't need to. You probably could just come straight in with this one, but I think the payoff for reading the first trilogy, which, I sound like I'm hating on the first trilogy is really good, and he's got critical acclaim for it. He's done really well. I think he won an award for this first book. This was really good. This was everything I wanted from this. You can tell he's taken everything everything from writing the first series, the first trilogy, and just condensed it and honed it and refined it into this. And I've got such high hopes for the rest of the series. So definite recommendation. Read that. Brian McClellan is great. So highly recommend it. It's a really interesting world. Definitely a great bit of fun. But yeah, October was really good fun. I didn't really read anything particularly spooky, even though it was Halloween, but I wanted to read these ones. I mean, people died. That's kind of spooky. But anyway, I'm now on to the second book of Gods of Blood and Powder, and I've got the third one arriving soon. I've had to order it, so it's arriving soon, and then I'm gonna possibly look at I might do Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson this month, but we shall see. I've got a couple of reviews coming out, certainly for these two books. They're still coming, but do follow along. Let me know your thoughts. What did you get up to in October? How much did you get read? Please like and subscribe to follow along on the journey, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.